All right, good morning. Been a been a little bit of a spell. Not really. I posted a video last week. It just wasn't Coffee Chronicles. But yeah, this is Coffee Chronicles. Again, just kind of morning thoughts, updates, stuff like that. Wanted to get one out. Lots of interesting things to think about today and on my mind. Got a lot going on. If you guys saw my video I posted last week, it's basically just sharing some news and some updates. I'll start with that because I'm not quite there. We're getting closer. So, long story short, there's a mountain bike race called the Leadville 100. Starts in Leadville, Colorado, which is like barely over 10,000 feet elevation. And you do over 12,000 feet of climbing. It's 105 miles. Long story is it's a very prestigious mountain bike endurance event and well known if you're in the mountain bike community. Obviously, for the challenges of the distance, the challenges of the elevation. Again, kind of a bucket list item for people who are into mountain biking. Well, over the last, 4 or 5 years, I've picked up my bike more, and that's kind of became a target for me at some point in my life to do. So I've started entering my name into the lottery system over the years, and haven't ever gotten drawn that way. But Rich Froning, who's a CrossFit Games guy, right, did it last year, and he's doing a foundation team or a fundraising team, which is another way to kind of get in. Well, he gave away or did a drawing for spots on his fundraising team, and I was lucky enough to get one, which is wild. I got drawn on my birthday, which is also kind of funny. But yeah, I'm going to Leadville, right? It's in August 10th is the race. But what I need to do is I need to fundraise some more money for the foundations that are involved. So first off, there's 2 donations that I want to talk to you guys about real quick. One's Mayhem Missions, right? They do a lot of cool things from like helping people get clean water to, sex trafficking stuff. Check out their website. They'll talk about it a lot better than I can. But yeah, it's Mayhem Missions. And then the other one is the Legacy Trail Foundation. It's the main fundraiser that's involved with the race. This is the one I really need to kind of continue to push money for right now and fundraise for. The Legacy Trail Foundation is cool because it's basically help provide students a ton of scholarships within Leadville, right? And to give you guys the real quick backstory on Leadville, it used to be a mining community that in, I think it was the early 80s, the mines got shut down. It was going to kill the economy. Basically, all the jobs were gone. And this couple people started this race series. It started off as just the Leadville running race. It was, on foot. And then later on is when they brought in the bikes. But essentially, the racing community and the economy of the races that they hold there now have made it survive. Whether it be scholarships or grants for businesses, this Legacy Trail Foundation does a lot of really cool things. And for me, it's kind of cool because I'm from a mining community, and I know how severely impacted many people would be if the mines in our area were to shut down. So to see Leadville stay alive through something like these races is really cool to see and raise money for. So I'll post the link in the show notes if you guys are willing to donate. Anything helps. I think last time I checked, I was about just over halfway there. So I needed to raise like $3,700, give or take. So yeah, that's a really exciting thing that's on the plate. Other things that are on my mind right today and just kind of what's going on. Let's see. I'm going to Vegas for a coach's clinic this week, which is exciting for football coaching and some speed and agility stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. Get to hear a lot of people that got more experience and maybe different points of view and learn from them on, coaching football and some of that type of stuff. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun to be with the coaches, spend some time with them. We haven't spent a whole lot of time together since football season, which is understandable. And And I also have some notes here from last time that I didn't talk about, which these are just, again, my morning caffeinated thoughts. But me and my wife had this travel issue a couple weeks ago. I had to go pick her up, and I was in the car for a long time to go grab her. And I hadn't done that in a while. And to me, it's like there's a lot of, for me personally, I find a lot of value in being alone, sometimes with other people, but being alone in the car for an extended period of time. I feel like it's when I do some of my best thinking, whether it's creative thinking or like, thinking about my life or problem solving, just because I can't do that on a short drive because I got too much input coming in, whether it's people, texting and calling or the radio or the podcast to listen to or traffic or whatever. But when you get like on that interstate or highway and just have a long time in the car by yourself, at some point it seems like some really good thinking happens there for me always. And it's always kind of a much needed thing that I didn't really pay attention to. So my point being there is just, don't underestimate the value of some alone time in the car or wherever that is for you. For me, it always seems like it's in the car, like on a long drive. I don't know why. But with that being said, it's also kind of thinking about carpooling with these coaches to the airport for a couple hours. It's always fun to like get in the car. And I can remember we went to, like traveling for football this last season. A couple of us would be in the school's Suburban and not be on the bus. And it's just always fun to be in that Suburban because you get to chit chat about, the game and all sorts of different stuff. But it's a good time to seems like people are off their phone, right? They're just there to BS and talk with each other. I've always enjoyed that. So yeah, a couple things today. My last point, random topic again. I'm kind of jumping all around. Is just speed and agility, plyometrics, jumping. That's kind of what's on my mind because we're doing this workout this morning that has 5, not for time, just 5 box jumps to a higher box. And then you go and take a little rest and you go do a set of squats and you come back. Okay. But it's just funny that how many people, and especially in the CrossFit community, we're getting really conditioned to always want to do the same height of box. And today's more like a workout you would see in a sports performance setting, where I'm trying to get them to go a little higher and really fire their central nervous system and that fast twitch muscle fiber, and take a break and not do it for speed, right? And just try to make them really high, good quality jumps, and then go do some, lighter, faster squats. And it's just, you can see people's brains just getting like rewired. Like, what is going on? This is not CrossFit, right? I'm not jumping. I'm not going as fast as possible for time, or just, it's a lot different than what they're used to. And it's just funny to see the gears kind of turn. And, having to coach some people on, hey, like, even if you're jumping to a 6-inch box or a 4-inch box today, for me, that's a win if that's what you can do, because I'm wanting you to express that fast twitch muscle fiber. I'm wanting you to be explosive and do the jumps, even if the jump isn't high, because it's funny that quality, I think always gets neglected. And you guys listening, I've talked about this maybe before, not on this specific thing with the Coffee Chronicles, but I talked to it a lot with members and coaches and stuff a lot. But like, how come people quit jumping and sprinting? I just ask yourself that. Like, if you're someone that's not a member here, or you've never thought about that before, when was and why was it like the last time you jumped? And when I say jump, I mean try to jump, right? And then when and why was last time you actually sprinted, right? And I mean, when I say sprint, I mean like run full fucking speed, okay? Because in CrossFit we run all the time, but the running is more of a jog. it's the furthest thing from a sprint because you're usually trying to retain some energy, right? And not shoot your heart rate through the roof. I think there's a lot of value, and a lot of strength and conditioning coaches will tell you this, the value in plyometrics and the value in sprinting. But for some reason, when guys, girls, kids, adults, whatever, quit playing college sports or high school sports, or even sometimes hobby intramural sports, they just quit doing it. And then the next thing you know, they haven't jumped or sprinted in like 10 fucking years. And now they feel like they're unathletic and they can't do it. Um, and to me, that jumping and sprinting is like a huge part of your athleticism. And it just makes me, I always think like, what is the scenario? And hopefully I'll continue to try to do this for the rest of my life. But what is the scenario if more people never stop sprinting and never stop jumping to some degree, right? I'm not saying they need to do it all the time, but you think about a kid who plays high school sports, they're running and jumping daily, right? And usually at really high outputs, like almost maximal effort, if not maximal effort, to some capacity. They do it 5 days a week, practicing, right? Maybe, and then maybe the 6th day if you play into competition, and then all of a sudden they don't maybe get to play college sports, and then they just go from 5 days a week or 6 days a week down to maybe 1 day a week if they play intramural sports. I mean, it just immediately seems like this fountain. You just shut it off, and all of a sudden you're done. And then I think adults have a hard time expressing that or continuing to express that. But I think it's super valuable. And you think about the people that when you get older and you kind of have that extra step, right? Makes me wonder if those people maybe ran and jumped longer. Probably did. So anyway, it leads me to my next thing real quick. Just like last cleanup of some upcoming events. First off, this is the first week of the CrossFit Open for 2024. So if you're a CrossFitter at my gym and you haven't signed up, sign up for that guy. Got Friday Night Lights coming up. Okay, a little further, speaking about the speed and agility stuff down the horizon. We're looking to do some different stuff with that. I've always kind of trained. There's kind of two buckets I kind of continue to fill, right? I have my GPP, my adults, people I'm looking to train that are training for typically general physical fitness stuff. They want to lose weight. They want to look good naked. They want to feel stronger. They want to feel better, right? They want to be healthier, all those things, right? And then the other side of the bucket I kind of feel is a lot of times, whether it's a lot with personal training or with my team sports at the schools, right? I'm training a bunch of middle school to high school aged athlete kids, trying to make them healthier, stronger, faster, more injury resilient for the sports that they play, to where they can perform better, perform longer, and learn good movement habits to take on after life. After life sports, I should say, is over. But so you got these two buckets, right? I'm going to be trying to do what I can to help more middle school to high school aged athletes get faster and stronger. I do the stuff within the school with Green River right now, which is great. And these kids are going to have access to this as well. But yeah, we're going to be doing a speed and agility camp come May. I don't have an exact date hammered down yet, but just be on the lookout for that. It'll probably be, a 3 or 4 day at the most deal, maybe a 2-day deal. Kind of depends on how many kids we get and if we split them up and stuff like that. But really talking about, for this group of kids, sprinting mechanics and teaching those types of things. And then also assessing them to where kids have valuable metrics they can take and leave with, to where if they ever come back, they can retest and reassess and find out if they've gotten faster, within that sprint. It's called a 40-yard dash. Where in the 40-yard dash is there the most room for improvement for them? I'll explain this really quickly for you and try to make it easy to understand. But we've all seen it when there's two athletes that are both fast, but they're fast in different ways. Or if you look at the NFL Combine, there might be two athletes that have the exact same 40-yard time, exact same. So on paper, it's easy to just look at that and go, yeah, they're the same speed. But then when they play, they don't look like they're the same speed, like when they're actually playing the sport, right? And that's because there's different parts of the sprint or the portions of the sprint, if you want to break it down, on where they excel, right? Maybe some are faster in the first 4 steps, right? The first 10 yards. Maybe some are faster in the top end, right? Their max velocity, the last 10 yards. So this is going to help athletes improve all that, but then have valuable metrics to go and say, where do they need to work? How can they work? And I can help show that to them to where they have areas to improve and not only get shown, here's where you can improve, but here's how you can improve it. And then come back at a future date and reassess and see if they've improved. So again, I think it's a huge thing for kids to learn how to do this right, and valuable for them, not only for their sports, but their performance across all sports. I mean, sprinting and running and getting faster is like the biggest differentiator in sports outside of just strength, right? I mean, we've all seen kids that are just like bigger and stronger, and they just look like different humans out there on the field or court. But we've for sure, everyone has seen when there's that one kid on the team who's got that extra step, that when he gets in the open field, he's gone, right? Or it only takes one step cut and he's untouchable. Speed is such a differentiator. So we're going to be working on that this spring with some kids. If you're interested and want more information, just reach out. Again, we'll post more as we know more as far as the dates and that type of stuff, but be looking out for that come May for a speed and agility camp from us. Other than that, that's it. The longer one today. Like I said, I kind of missed last week because I feel like I had a lot to get out. And obviously with the Leadville stuff, that was a big deal as well for me. So if you're willing to donate for that, check the show notes. If you got questions about the speed and agility camp coming up, reach out, message us. When was the last time you sprinted and jumped? It's a good question. Other than that, if you like this video, if you've been watching the series, got a question, whatever, hit us up, like, subscribe. It's all appreciated. All right. Until next time.